What's up, guys? Rick from Rick's Rock School back for another Coheed lesson, and today we are tackling Blood Red Summer. Shout out to Riley for the request. Riley, you've been rocking with me since the beginning, since I first started putting out Coheed tutorials. I really appreciate it, man. This one's for you. Guys, just like last week when we did a favorite House Atlantic, this one is in the key of E. So all the music theory that we talked about last week also is going to apply. Before I get started, this one is such a Cars song. You know, when I hear this one, I immediately go, that's Rick Ocasek, look at that. And if you're not a classic rock fan, if you find yourself being a Coheed fan, but you don't care for classic rock, you gotta listen to where this stuff came from. I mean, Claudio and Travis are influenced, obviously in this one, by the Cars, and if you don't believe me, listen to basically any Cars song, but just what I needed specifically. It opens the exact same way, and the tone is almost exactly the same. So there's that, but I mean, there's so much, obviously, Rush, Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath in their music, so a lot of this stuff really does come from classic influence, and I think that's why partially when they got labeled emo band in that article, they were like, yo, that's not us at all. I don't know where you got that from. So anyways, guys, listen to some classic rock. It's good for you. It's good for your guitar playing. Let's jump right into this, guys. We are going to start off on an E chord, and you want just a little bit of fuzz to your guitar, not as much distortion as they use in maybe some of their other songs, particularly some of the last few albums. But I've got a kind of a classic rock tone going on. It's going to start on an E power chord. And I mean, they love this. There are, in any scale, there are two half steps. In any major scale, there are two half steps. In other words, notes that are one fret apart from each other, okay? And it's always gonna be between the first note of the scale and the seventh note of the scale. That'll be a half step apart. And also the fourth note and the third note will be a half step apart. So when you apply that to power chords, you can take the one chord, which is the E chord in this case, and the seventh note, the D sharp, is going to be one fret behind it. And you can leave the ring finger on that B note. So we're here on the seventh fret of the A string and the ninth fret of the D. That's going to be our E power chord. And you can take that first finger and go to the sixth fret, and then right back to the seventh fret. So like this. That half step is really cool. And again, we can do that also on the fourth note, in between the fourth note and the third note. So between that E and the D sharp that's behind it on the seven there, that's going to be your half step, and then A and G sharp are also going to be a half step apart. So we can take an A chord like this one, fifth fret of the E string, our G sharp's going to be one fret behind. So we have two places in any key where we can do that, which it's adopted by so many punk rock bands. And that's just a really cool sound, and that's how you get it. And if you keep watching this lesson, I'm going to show you how to write your own power chord riffs and where all of these chords fit in and why they sound the way they do and why they make us feel the way they do. There is a science behind this. Check this out. So the E chord that they're starting with, that's your one chord. That's going to be the happiest chord in the whole key. It's a happy song when it begins here. So check this out. Now it stays happy when it gets to that A chord. Your A, your 4 chord, is also a major chord in this key. So we're going to stay on a happy chord. And that's how we play the intro. If you're playing Claudio's parts, that's how you play in the intro. We're palm muting along on that E. On the and of 4, the second time around, if you count it, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Ba-da. Right there, after you say 4, on that and is the right there. And that'll bring us right into the 1. Now, the next chord is A, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. After 4, you're gonna hit it with another one of those half steps. G sharp, A, G sharp, and our E note, again, the ring finger will stay in the same place. You can use the pinky if it's more comfortable. And you keep chugging, and then you're gonna find yourself back to the 1 chord. On the 1 chord, again, we are back home. The 1 chord is going to give us resolution, but more importantly, that happy sounding resolution. So when you're writing out your own power chord riffs, check out this block of chords. I'm gonna go on a little music teacher tangent here, mainly because you can learn this song in about 30 seconds. So I'm gonna teach you the meaning behind all of these chords. That's your one chord. And this is a movable shape, and I'll show you what I mean, but in E, that's your one chord. The 5 chord, like I said, is B, is right on top of it. Okay? The 4 chord will be a whole step down, or 2 frets down from where the 5 chord is. So you've got a block of happy chords right here. And look. All right, we're playing the Who, right? That and Teenage Wasteland, Bob O'Reilly, the whole deal. Now that is where your happy chords come from. Now in pop music, we generally are dealing with 4 intervals: the 1, the 4, the 5, and the 6. The 6 chord is what's called our relative minor. So when you want to get that serious, a little bit darker classic rock sound, or just a darker sound in general, and go to the minor chord, we're going to go to the 6 chord. The 6 chord in the key of E, or the relative minor, is C sharp, and that'll be on the 9th fret. And later on in the song, keep that in mind, because later on in the song, we're going to get to that C sharp and things are going to get serious. So that's how we play Claudio's part of the intro, guys. It's just E and A. It really couldn't be much easier if you're a beginner starting out. This will be great for you to practice your counting. Just count and hitting this chord on the upbeat and getting back there. So one more time. 4. If you say 4 on that and, tap your foot. Your foot should be in the air when you get to that part. And you're right there. And we're gonna, just like I said, copy and paste on the A chord. That's how you play Claudio's verse. Let's get to Travis's lead for the verse. Got to switch to a clean channel. Let's switch over to clean to see what Travis is doing here. So here's what Travis is doing. It sounds to me like he's got his bridge pickup on, or his treble pickup on. He's definitely on a clean channel, and we're going to use this piece of our E major scale based off of B. Right? Now check this out. Lots of cool stuff, lots to unpack there, but very easy to play. On an upbeat, you're gonna hit the B note on the 7th fret of the E string. And we're gonna hit it again on a downbeat and then hammer on to the 9th fret. And then we'll come to the E note on the 7th fret of the A string. Now back up to the B note on 7E. Hit that B a couple more times. C sharp on the 9th fret of the E. E note, 7th fret A string, and then back to our B. So it's repeats that. Then we start to move down the E scale on the E string. A, G sharp, F sharp, open E. 5th fret, 4th fret, 2nd fret, open string. Again now, so we're gonna go 5, 4, 2, 0 on the E string, and then we're gonna walk that back up. So, 0, 2, 4, 5, 4, 2, 4, 0. And then it just circles back around, so that is Travis's lead there. Slowly, I'll play it one more time. Easy enough. So that's what Travis is doing while Claudio is chugging away. Let's get to the chorus. So the chorus is going to start on the 5 chord. The 5th chord of the key is B. We'll play that on the 7th fret of the E string. So it's a B chord to an A chord to an E chord, power chord wise. This again, it's that box of happy chords that we're talking about here. And I can't escape the Jersey as long as I've lived in Philadelphia. Anyways, so a B chord, A chord, E chord, that box of happy chords that we are talking about. B chord, A chord, E chord, and what we're going to do with that is we're going to play 2 measures, 4 measures. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. E for 4 measures. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Circles back around. Does it again. B, A, E. Again, just if you're starting out, this is going to be so helpful. Just to start to just be able to jam. I challenge you. Play Claudio's parts to the record, play to the record. And that is like every one of your favorite guitar players, they learn to play by playing to the record, guys. So please, like, don't be afraid, put the record on and practice, practice, practice. It's good for your timing. Let's see what Travis has going on here, what the clean lead guitar part is in this chorus. Let's check it out. There it is, guys. Now check this out. I started, first I was New Jersey and then I was a pirate. What's happening to me today? I don't know. Let's keep going. We have the B, 2, and F sharp here. So, and I'm going to use my middle finger and my pinky. Middle finger 7E, pinky 9A. And then you're going to play a pull off here. 7th fret of the D to the 6th fret. That's going to be an A to a G sharp. There's, well, that's that half step from the 4th note to the 3rd note that I'm talking about here. And then pinky 9A. Back to the 6th fret of the D, middle finger 7th fret A. So it's... Now we're going to play a pull off the 9th fret with the pinky of the A string to the 7th fret. Then we're going to start alternate picking. And I'm going to go 2 A notes. 4th fret A, it's a C sharp, D sharp, E on the 4th fret, 6th fret, 7th fret of our A string. And then we'll play 4, 6, and 7 on the D. To the 9th fret. Now, this gets kind of cool. We're going to hit the 9th fret of the G string. It's an E note twice, and then an octave chord here. 7th fret E, 9th fret D. And this is all kind of buried in the mix, but you would really miss it if it wasn't there. So you have, at the end here, while Claudio's just rocking out on an E chord, we'll just go between that so you get... Very different for what Travis usually plays, but when we get to this next part, we learn the iconic lead towards the end of this song. You go, oh, well, there's Travis, there's what he likes to do. And this might be one of the best leads that he ever put on any other song, certainly the most iconic. So let's see what Claudio is doing in the ending chorus, and then we'll get to Travis and we'll end this up. So I told you to keep in mind the whole spiel about the 6th chord being the serious chord, and this song doesn't start to sound serious until this comes in. There it is, the 6th chord, the C sharp, the relative minor chord of the key of E. 9th fret E string. It's a 9, 11, and 11. That power chord shape again. Down to a B power chord. We'll go 2 measures, 2 4 counts, 2 4 counts on the B, 4 4 counts on the A, the 5th fret of the E string. And that's the backdrop. You're gonna rock that out. If you're playing Claudio's part, you're gonna rock that out till the very end of the song. Now to Travis's iconic lead. Check this out. love it. And I mean, this is just one of the most rock and roll things. It really adds so much life and so much character. Travis's playing always does that, but it adds so much life and so much character to the end of this song. Check it out. 9th fret of the G to the 11th fret. First, I should show you the scale that we're working in. It's the same thing like I said. If you watch the Favorite House Atlantic video, I went over this scale too. So we should be pros at this. 12th fret E, 9, 11, and 12 on the A. A, 9, 11 on the D. 8, 9, 11 on the G. 9, 10, 12 on the B. 9, 11, and 12 on the E. And that's the scale, that's our E major scale that we're working with here. So like I said, Travis's lead comes from that scale. Here it is, guys, 9 on the G to the 11th fret of the D. Like I've said before, I like to pick inside the string, so I'm picking down, up, I'm alternate picking. We're gonna alternate pick this whole thing. 9G, 11D, 9G, 11G, 9, and 10. Now that 9, 11, 9, 11, 9G, 11D, 9G, 11G, 9B to the 10th fret of the B. 9B, 11G, 9G, 11D. So catchy there. And now check this out. Now we're gonna go. Little bit of music theory nugget on that note coming your way, but first let me show you how to play it. 9, 8, 9, 11, 9, 8 to the 9th fret of the D to the B. So all on the G string there, 9, 8, 9, 11. That's going to be E, D sharp, E, F sharp, E, D sharp, and then B note. Now we're going to play almost an identical line, but it's going to go like this. And it's so at the last two notes, everything copy and paste. We're going 9, 8, 9, 11, 9, now 9 on the D string to the 8th fret of the G. Here's a music theory nugget. That note there, your D sharp. This is all occurring over an A chord. You have your C sharp, B, A. This part of the lick is happening while the A chord, while Claudio is rocking out on that A chord, right? Now, if you play an A note and a D sharp together, you get this. Ugly. Some people go, that sounds really cool. Well, if you're a Black Sabbath fan, you might think that is really, really cool. Tony Iommi uses this interval all the time, and so did every metal guitar player after this, because that note there, when played with an A, forms what is called the tritone, or the flat 5, or the blue note. If you're a blues player, that's your blues note. So that D sharp over an A, that forms that discordant, kind of ugly sound. Some people go, actually, that sounds beautiful. I would tend to agree with those people. But that tritone could have got you arrested in the Middle Ages. Yes, they would have arrested you. They would have removed your hands. Who knows what else. That was illegal to play in public. People thought, it's like invoking the wrath of Satan or something like that, and that's why every metal band after them is using that tritone, and hippies were running out of all the pubs in Birmingham when Black Sabbath first came onto the scene, started playing all that stuff, and I just think that is really cool, and that is the interval that Travis decides to use there, and it doesn't sound so nice. It gives it some edge, it gives it some tension. And when we get back to the E chord, that tension gets released, and that tension and release is such a huge part of playing music. So guys, I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Remember, as always, it's supposed to be fun. Have fun with it, guys.